the world was so different, and we used to do a lot of events. But in this,
what happened? What happened? I mean, the last year, what happened?
the last year, after everything got open, we started receiving so many delegations. Thanks God, we received in Israel this year almost 1,500 leaders from 30 countries in all over the world. So thank you, everybody who trusted on us, who came to learn, to see, to experience, to get immersed in what we believe is the most innovative ecosystem all over the world. And before we start, I would like to share with you, it's a 1-minute video of what were the experiences of all these great people that were with us this year, to give you an overview of what we did and why we couldn't do more events like this. So if you give me, I want to introduce you this beautiful video of people giving their feedback on how was their experience in Israel with us. So please take a look.
I joined the program really wanting to know more about Israel, meeting the companies, meeting the startups, the guys, the university-related things, the military, the way of living of the Israeli people was very interesting.
Realmente ha sido una experiencia muy enriquecedora de intercambio, de networking, de colaboración con muchos países, no solamente Latinoamérica, sino realmente de todo el mundo.
Me abrió los ojos, me ha gustado la experiencia, me gustaría volver a repetir.
Fue una experiencia muy satisfactoria desde todo punto de vista.
Está llenando satisfactoriamente mis expectativas, estamos conociendo mucho más allá la cultura y el porquê de esta Startup Nation é tão importante a nível mundial.
A experiência aqui em Israel para mim foi muito boa, porque eu consegui conhecer como as empresas aqui em Israel estão lidando com tecnologia, com a inovação, que é uma área que a gente geralmente atua muito no Brasil e a gente precisa sempre de ter muito boas referências.
I have had an amazing time here at the Innovation Experience Israel 360. I'm excited to not only have been a participant in the program, we're almost done and there's still more to explore, and I'm just great that I've had an opportunity to meet some amazing people, to be a part of the program, and I look forward to sharing it with friends at home.
Wow, this is amazing. I see it all over again, and I can't stop feeling emotional about what people are feeling and how they are being connected with the ecosystem. I feel blessed of being able to have the best job in the world, to bring people to know the ecosystem, to learn, to get inspired, and to see much more. Also, for you that are seeing us live, you have the chat, you have so many ways to be connected with us, and get ready your questions for the next interviews that we are going to have. If you're ready, I would like to introduce a little bit more formal of what this whole event is going to be about. What do you think? Are you okay?
Great. Yala.
Okay, so in Israel, the innovative ecosystem is great in terms of innovation, of startups, investment, and everything. But today we want to focus on one industry to give a big overview of all the possibilities of what you can see, and also to give an overview about our specific program called Innovamed that is only for the health ecosystem. So before we start, there's a big issue all the world is talking about that is called AI, artificial intelligence. Since the movie of the Terminator, everybody is concerned about if it's gonna save the world or it's gonna to destroy it. But in Israel, one of the pillars of our mindset is being very pragmatic. Okay, so at the end of the day, the world now, there's a lot of improvements and a lot of possibilities that has to do with artificial intelligence. So for that, we have one of the best health startups in the world that deals with that issue. So Julie, tell us, who are you going to interview right now?
Okay, I'll start with a big opening. I'm going to interview David Golan. He's the co-founder and the CTO of Biz AI. That it's a digital healthcare company that is using deep learning to analyze medical data and improve also all the clinical workflow. So I want to know today who's the brain behind this brilliant idea, and David will explain us how AI is changing the outcomes of the urgent stroke care.
But before we start with David, we have also two great guests during the night. okay? We want to learn much more about two different issues. I'm going to interview Levi Shapiro. Levi Shapiro is probably the guy who knows more about how the Israeli ecosystem works, what are the top innovations, everything you want to know. Get ready to talk with Levi. And Ryan, who are you going to interview?
Yehudit Cohen. She is the leading scientific from Milgam. It is one of the leading biobanks in the world. What is a biobank? Wait a little bit, you're going to discover this amazing topic during the interview, but it has a lot to do with medical personalization. It's crazy.
So if you're interested in artificial intelligence, in data to save the world, and revolutionary startups, I think you are in the right place where to be. So Julie, lead the way, and let's start with David.
Today, we're going to explore how technology is changing the outcomes of urgent stroke care. With the founder here of Viz AI, this company is helping to accelerate processes and save thousands of lives. I am really interested in knowing how is this technology behind and how this idea came up. So it's a real honor to introduce to the audience to David Golan. Hello.
Hi.
Hi. Nice to meet you. Thank you for coming. And also thank you for hosting our delegations in your company. It is really important for us to show what Israel has to offer to the world. So I want to start asking you if you can tell us a little bit about your personal story and how you came up with this idea.
Of course, and thank you for having me. It's a real pleasure and always fun to host your delegations. It's really our pleasure. So the story behind Viz, there were two co-founders. I'm David. I'm the Chief Technology Officer. I've been in the artificial intelligence space for many years. And my co-founder, Chris Mancy, is a neurosurgeon by background out of the UK. And we both had similar experiences around patient treatment in acute care. My own personal experience is from the patient's bed, so to speak. So about 7 years ago, I was hospitalized with a suspected stroke. And, fast forward, I'm all fine, nothing bad happened. But in real time, it took a very significant amount of time until I was diagnosed and treated. And Chris, my co-founder, is a neurosurgeon, had similar experiences as a doctor, where he would operate on patients very successfully, but then the patients ended up with poor outcomes or even dying because it took a very long time before the patient got to the operating room. And we met to get together after my hospitalization and started chatting about this and sort of comparing our experiences, and came to the conclusion that there is a problem, a workflow problem, and an information flow problem in hospitals. Because a patient that gets to the ED, then goes to the CT scanner, then comes back to the ED, the emergency department, someone needs to read the scans, identify an acute finding like a stroke or a brain bleed. Someone needs to prioritize this and so on. There's a lot, it's a very serial process, a lot of escalations, people calling each other on the phone. And as we know, hospitals are super busy and this sometimes breaks. And the patient either doesn't get the treatment or don't get it fast enough. And in those situations of acute care, it's really every minute counts. In stroke, they have a saying, save a minute, save a week. So for every minute of earlier treatment, the patient earns approximately 1 week on average of healthy life. So it's very, very meaningful. And essentially, we set out to transform how information flows within hospital systems. And it's really the vision of Viz AI, the company that we started, is to harness the power of 3 technological revolutions happening at the same time around 2015-16, which is cloud computing, mobile devices, and artificial intelligence. And basically what Viz does is connect the hospitals to the cloud. All the imaging and all the medical data goes to the cloud. In the cloud, there is artificial intelligence that identifies when a patient has an acute pathology, a stroke, a brain bleed. Now we do pulmonary embolisms, aortic dissections. If it's urgent, we want to find it. And once we found it, we alert the physicians that can treat the patient. And we alert everybody at the same time. They have a mobile app, so they can access all the data wherever they are, whether they're in the hospital or not. And it's like, imagine like a WhatsApp group where everybody in the team together sees what's going on. They can write, it's a chat, they can also write to each other. And the information, instead of moving serially, is now disseminated in a parallel way to everybody at the same time. So this is basically what we do.
Okay, it's really, really mind-blowing. And it's really important to contribute to the world in what you are doing. I want to ask you, what's your dream with this AI? Which are the new challenging things that you're thinking of for the next future years?
And so as a company, we're always striving to make a bigger impact on more patients all across the world. At the end of the day, for many, many medical conditions, there's good treatments. The problem is that many patients don't get the same level of access to the right treatment, to the right doctor, either because they're living in a different country or in a different part of the country, for example, a periphery versus a big city and so on. So really, what Viz.ai does is make sure that the information flows to the right person. If a patient is in a CT scanner and they have a stroke, the right doctor will get the alert. So really, we started with stroke, and now we've expanded into multiple other indications. As I mentioned, other acute pathologies as brain bleeds, pulmonary embolisms, aortic dissections. We've started in the US market, and we're now extending to more and more countries, multiple countries in the EMEA region, now looking into South America, looking into Asia, and so on. It's obviously a long journey, but we're slowly getting there. But at the end of the day, the goal is, if this is the level of healthcare in the best hospital, we want to take all the hospitals out there and with technology bring them to the same level. Right? And the vision is, imagine if someone in in a rural hospital has a specific type of cancer over here, and over there's the expert in this type of cancer. We want to make this connection automatically. It doesn't have to be, like, stroke is very time sensitive. It's minutes, seconds, hours obviously count. But even with cancer, even with orthopedic stuff, even everything, you have to connect the patient to the right doctor so they can maximize the impact and maximize the chances that the patient does better. So at the end of the day, our vision is to really make sure that every patient in the world gets the treatment that they need. And make sure that no one falls between the cracks, no one remains with suffers unnecessarily when the treatment exists and is available.
Okay, it's a really big dream, and we hope you achieve it, because it's something we need for the world to change. I want to ask you now more specific in AI and in artificial intelligence. Where else AI is revolutioning and will revolutionize health? In which other areas do you think?
So I mean, we're seeing a lot of exciting developments, all across many applications, in various places of the workflow. Just throwing in some examples. At Viz now, we have recently launched our cardiology suite of products, and we started ingesting ECG data from hospitals. This is a very exciting new domain that allows potentially to find hidden rare cardiac conditions and other very exciting opportunities. We're seeing more and more AI in ultrasound, and the ultrasound can be taken to the field, can be taken to the point of care, can be taken to the to the house of the patient. We're seeing that in prenatal scans, a pregnant woman can get a scanner home and do the scan herself, get the automatic guidance about how to do that. And obviously this allows better care for pregnant women, even if they don't have access to the best OB-GYN. So we're seeing a lot of that, but we're also seeing companies that provide AI that summarizes a patient's medical record. So when they get to the doctor, we all know that the doctors are loaded. They can sometimes give only the patient 7 minutes. Right? So the fact that they can get a summary, here are the highlights about this patient. These are the questions you need to ask. Make sure that this patient has diabetes, make sure that they're managed well, and so on, makes the touch point between the physician and the physician and the patient much more effective. So really, in almost every aspect of healthcare, we're seeing technology and AI coming in to improve the level of care, reduce the load, reduce the burn of a clinical team. This is another huge thing all across the world, especially after COVID. There's a lot of people leaving the profession. Just had very hard 2.5 years. Hospitals are dealing with staff shortages. So anywhere where there's data, there's opportunity for AI, and we're seeing a lot of very, very interesting companies being founded in Israel and elsewhere, and getting into this space.
Okay, great. We have a lot to learn from you, and also health is a sensitive topic, and we're proud you're working on it proudly and achieving everything you're achieving. There's some people asking also here in the chat, if you can give some 3 tips for entrepreneurs that are assisting our summit that can help them from all around the world.
Yeah, definitely. First of all, I think entrepreneurship is wonderful, and there's a lot of opportunities. I think one thing is it's a hard journey, so you need to find something that you're passionate about, and so that when in the low times and the hard times, you have the energy. I think you need to have great partners. But starting a company alone is very hard. Having 2 or more founders is very important. So when one person is down, the other picks them up, and vice versa. I think the third tip would be always have a learning mindset and a growth mindset. Chris and I, we have this sentence we tell to ourselves every time we talk is, it's unbelievable how stupid we were yesterday. And it's every day, every week we look back and we learn so much, and you have to have this willingness to learn, willingness to abandon your belief. And you look back, our view of the world was very simplistic, and you grow and grow and grow. And I think this is the number one property, or number one predictor for the successful entrepreneur, is that they're out there to learn from the employees, from the customers, from everyone they interact with, and they, put the ego aside, learn, improve, and grow.
Okay, thank you very much. I believe everyone's anxious to come to Israel to get to know you, your company, and that way of thinking, and that way of achieving stuff and going through difficult challenges. So I want to thank you very, very much for joining today. It has been a pleasure, and hope you receive us soon in your company in Israel.
Yeah, we would really love to have you over, and looking forward to it.
Okay, thank you very, very much. Bye. Wow, that was crazy. Don't you think it was mind-blowing? Wow, I'm really, really excited for you to come into Israel. Are you maybe asking yourself how to get here, how to get to know our ecosystem here on the ground? I'll show you in a little video what's Israel 360 and how you can come to see us and get to know all these amazing people and leaders.
Welcome to Innovation Experience, Israel 360. A program designed to teach you about all the latest technology, disruptive business models, but most importantly, how to innovate. You'll start with the Innovation Academy, 3 months of virtual classes learning about a variety of business methodologies run by the most successful professors and entrepreneurs in Israel. You will learn how large corporations innovate and entrepreneurial strategies for validating and implementing your ideas. The culminating activity is a trip to Israel, the most important innovation hub in the world. You'll learn about the largest technologies firsthand. Find out about all different industries and success stories. Innovation experience. Shift your mindset. Change the world.
All the time, people ask me, okay, what's a real immersion that you do, that you call it, you so call it a real immersion experience? And on one side, we explain that we go to different companies, to different startups, incubators, meet the real leaders. But there's an example that illustrates it as the best. A few months ago, we had this delegation, and it was with Ryan, actually. And there's a participant they were in a startup, and he goes and complains with Ryan that they enter into this meeting room, and there was not enough room for the 25 people of the group to fit well and sit properly. They were sort of like this, and he goes and complains with Ryan that they didn't have enough room where to sit. And what did you answer, Ryan, when you had this complaint?
Look, this program is for meeting real people in their working places. This program is not scripted. It's not like sitting in a university with air conditioning. No, this is seeing yourself the truth, how it really works in Israel. And there are a lot of learnings that you can take because of seeing the real thing, and asking and interacting with the people and looking how they organize in their offices. So this is all about, we have, before you go to Israel, before people go to Israel, there is an online academy with a lot of theory and examples. Okay, it's very important, that part as well. But when we are in Israel, we want to see and experience as much as we can.
So don't expect a big meeting room in a startup, because at the end of the day, it's a startup. It's starting. Another thing will be in an R&D center in a big company. So let's move forward and let's see the second guest of the night that I'm really thrilled to interview him, and he's waiting us. Please start writing your questions, because in the next minutes, we will learn about what the Israeli health ecosystem is all about, because it's revolutionary both in terms of tech developments and also the way we in Israel treat the patients. So I don't want to spoil anything, and I just want to welcome to our great guest of the night, Levi Shapiro. We have the great chance now to meet probably the guy who knows more about the health ecosystem in Israel rather than anybody else in the world. He's a very well-renowned guy here. Besides that, he's a great friend, a great person, and I feel humble and great and honored and grateful for having you here. Levi, how are you? Thank you for sharing with us all your knowledge.
Damien, I'm honored to be joining you and your group, and I'm happy to be speaking in detail a little bit about the Israeli health tech ecosystem, perhaps some examples of some of the companies we see, as well as a little bit of background about our health system in Israel, and also what makes our physicians unique. I'm an investor. I run a venture capital fund focused on health technology. I'm also on the faculty teaching digital health at Hebrew University, and I also run a nonprofit for all of the Israeli health tech startups. And I'm thrilled to be your guest today. Thank you.
And most important than everything, all our academic modules in InnovaMed and all our InnovaMed groups, they go through Levi. So that's not a minor issue. It was a great year, Levi, receiving all these amazing InnovaMed groups. Thank you for the great work you've been doing with them.
It's my pleasure. And it's generally the groups are very keen to understand what we see in Israel. And it is quite unique. I think we have some unique attributes that enable a robust health tech startup landscape. Some of the sources for that robustness, I would say 3 or perhaps even 4 different points. One is the access to capital. We have a mix of government funding for R&D projects, typically up to half for really interesting R&D projects, which then de-risks the investment for the angel community. And as a result, I tell this to people that I've never come across a really good team in Israel that didn't get funding.
That's unbelievable. The fact that we always have a coffee and discuss the same issue all over again. But the fact that 2 young people here, 2 grown-up people, that they come up with a crazy idea that not so easy to understand, even for the investor or for the rest of the normal people, they come up with an idea and they say, you know, this will change the world and we're sure. And there's another crazy guy who will go and invest in them. That's something amazing. But before going so forward, let us know a little bit, because who better than you to give us an overview of the health ecosystems in terms of technology development, so on and so forth, to give us a background of what we are talking about when we talk about this issue.
Sure. So Israel has around 1,300 registered health technology companies. About a quarter of those are biotech, and the rest are split between medical device, and digital health. These are registered companies that have some sort of funding. Most of them are in seed or Series A stage. So most of these are products in the market that are looking for global markets. And that's why Latin America is so important for our community of startup companies. They typically can find funding here in Israel. They typically can find a very cost-efficient local pilot or proof of concept. And typically, we have something very unique in Israel, which is about 30 years of universal electronic health records. So typically, those startup companies can also license the key sliver of data they need to add an AI component to their product. And that, I think, is unique. So the access to capital, the access to basically near free proof of concepts or beta sites, as well as the access to a really unrivaled pool of data, gives this community an advantage relative to others.
Data for the street, okay? This is a question that everybody that is in will ask, like very fast, but very precise. If you said top 5 subsectors being invested in the health world in Israel right now, how would you rate them?
Sure. In digital health, it would be decision support tools. So in other words, we do not want to kick out the surgeon or the physician. We're trying to augment the existing workflow and expertise. So decision support is getting the lion's share of investments. Connected devices, so a medical device with a software component, that's also attracting quite a bit of investment. And recently, digital therapeutics have also been a very hot sector. A digital therapeutic is just like a pill, a pharmaceutical treatment, but using a digital delivery mechanism. And I have lots of examples. There's one tool that's FDA approved. It's purely digital, and it treats migraines. Wow. It actually was one of the Time Magazine 50 coolest products.
What's the name of it?
It's called Theranica, is the company, Theranica.
One more thing regarding examples, okay? Because if you wanted to tell us about, I don't know, 2, 3 developments, what will they be?
I'm very excited about the opportunity for XR, VR, AR, right? AR meaning augmented reality. There's one company here, Augmetics, which uses a visor. So something like Google Glass many years ago, but they use a visor which enables the spine surgeon to have a variety of benefits, one of which there's an AI component that makes suggestions for the surgeon while they are performing spinal surgery. In addition, the suggestions and even the visuals are projected forward in the line of sight of the surgeon rather than having to move the line of sight.
No, that's the future. I can't believe it. What else? What else? Give us more. Give us more.
A wonderful company called CytoReason, which is basically solving the biggest pain point for the pharmaceutical companies, which is R&D. So essentially, they're applying quantum computing towards accelerating the R&D process for bringing out a blockbuster new drug, which typically can cost about $1.7 billion. So eliminating most of that time and expense has made CytoReason a very popular company. They have 5 major pharmas as clients, and they're not only servicing major pharmas, they're applying their expertise towards their own drug development. So very interesting. Someday there may be, in addition to the biopharma tools products, you may even hear about their own molecule they developed with their own technology.
Wow. And you know that when we always see to think about the next Innovamed group and what the structure of the program will be, we always we know that we need to cover 2 sides, right? Because one side is showing the technology, showing the new developments, the VCs, all this great ecosystem in terms of economics, okay? But there's a second side, not less important, not less innovative, unique in the world. I don't want to speak because I have you here, so I think it's a lack of respect, right? But the health system in Israel is unique by itself, both in terms of the HMOs and the patient, and from a patient-wide perspective. So please share with us like an overview of okay, we saw the technologies for the world and all the possibilities, but what's unique about the way the health works here in Israel?
Sure. The Israeli health system is similar to many in Northern Europe and the OECD. There's universal health coverage. But what is unique, I would say, is there is a very robust private market, which creates a bit of competition. So 25% of Israelis choose to pay additional fees for private insurance, even though the baseline health coverage is excellent. The private insurance encourages physicians and doctors to compete for service, to compete for convenience, and as a result, it elevates the overall quality of the Israeli health system. Israeli men are in the top 5 for lifespan, and a lot of that has to do with diet and lifestyle, but it also has to do with the health system coverage. So we do have some other aspects that I would say are quite unique compared to other OECD health systems. One is the emphasis on primary care. The emphasis on primary care. So whereas in the United States, about 85% of physicians are specialists, here the majority are general practitioners. And the process involves seeing your general practitioner first, who has a holistic perspective about the patient. Often patients present with symptoms that are related to depression, that are related to other issues besides the actual concern. And this helps reduce hospitalizations. This ensures that one health professional with a long standing relationship with the patient, has participated in the diagnosis and provisioning of care.
I look forward to seeing the next group coming here and discovering. I like when we go into the hospital, the HMOs, those companies with the VR glasses and the other that's a thing. So hopefully we'll see you soon with the next group. Thank you, Levi. Toda Rabah. Really, it's a pleasure and an honor having you always with us. So humbled to have you here.
And thank you for bringing such amazing human resources to Israel. Together, I think we can have a really big impact. And so thank you to you and to all of those who are coming. We're grateful for your visit.
Wow, that was really interesting. I was wondering who could explain in that words what is the Israeli health ecosystem, and Levi did it great. So maybe you're wondering how to come to Israel to get to know in firsthand what is that all the innovation centers do, the R&D centers, labs, or maybe universities. So we want to show you our InnovaMed program where you can come to Israel and get to know this health ecosystem with your own eyes. So I'll leave you a little video so you can see it.
The world of health and medical technology is being completely transformed. Scientists, doctors, and engineers are developing solutions that improve the quality of life for millions of people around the world. Our InnovaMed program, focused exclusively in the healthcare industry in Israel, will allow you inside access to the Israeli healthcare ecosystem, the most impressive medical technologies, and to meet the leaders in the medical field. You will see innovative medical solutions, seek technologies, and discover opportunities to connect with global impact makers. Discover telemedicine and devices that allow you to monitor your health from wherever you are. Learn about virtual reality for rehabilitation, smart operating rooms, and robots who perform surgeries. Investigate organ printing, research in pharma, genetics, and new treatments, even 100% digitalized health centers. Have you already started your technological transformation? From eyes for those who have vision problems to legs for those who cannot walk. Find out where the healthcare industry is headed and prepare for the future. Do not lose this chance. Shift your mindset. Change the world. InnovaMed Israel by Innovation Experience.
We are here with Yehudit Cohen. She's the scientific director of the Israeli National Biobank for Research. It's a pleasure to having you here. Thank you very much for joining. How are you, Yehudit?
Thank you for inviting me to speak and to answer all your questions. Hope I can answer everything and you will find it attractive.
No, please, it's an honor having you here. You meet with many of our delegations in Israel, so having the chance of sharing all the work that you're doing with Latin America is very special to us. So thank you very much. So, Yehudit, let's start from the beginning. What is a biobank?
Okay, so a biobank is actually a collection of human biospecimens. Actually, it can be non-human, but we're talking about humans, so I will refer to that as human biospecimens. Biospecimens can be either tissues that are being collected from patients or blood samples or any other samples that you think about. It can be urine, saliva, CSF, ascites fluid, hair, feces, whatever. These are biosamples, and we're collecting all types of them. I will say something that there are many kinds or many types of biobanks, and Midgam is a type of a biobank that is disease-oriented. We are mainly focused in cancer, not only, but this is the main focus. And we are also another type of biobank, which is project-driven. That means that we collect samples in accordance for the need of specific researchers that approach us and ask for these specimens.
And why collecting these specimens, these samples? Like, which is the purpose? How can they be used?
Few years ago, there was a research study that was done to find out who use biobanked samples and why do we need that. So before maybe going to this specific article or research study that was done about this question, I will say that there are many drugs that were developed with the help of biobanked samples, and I'll give you maybe two examples. One is Glivec, which is an antibody that is given to patients today. It is given to patients with cancer in their abdomen, in their stomach. And it was found because biobanked samples of such patients were tried with this antibody. It's in a biological drug, and it was found very quickly that it helps, and it entered the FDA and was approved. And another one is Herceptin that I guess most of you know, that is a drug for breast cancer patients, and it is specifically developed for or found to be helpful for a specific portion of breast cancer patients. It's not good for others. It's good for specific portion of patients. And if I'll go to talk about a little bit about the article that I said, so it was found, it was a Canadian group that try to figure out who's using the biospecimens or how many biospecimens from biobank are being used. And it was found that in Canadian groups in the years of 2010, 2011, around 75% of articles that were published was reporting the usage of biobanked samples. So it has a role worldwide for the usage of that. And there are so many other studies that were done with biobank samples all over the world, genetic studies and non-genetic studies.
And do you think that in the near future, like the medicine will become more personalized in general?
Yes, it is already, it will boom more and more, because when you understand what a specific problem in a genetic view or in a biological view, doesn't have to be genetically a mutation. You can have other information in biology, but when you understand the specific problem in a person, then you can deal with it specifically. And it is also important to make sure that if you don't find this biomarker or specific problem, you don't use this drug. I mean, you can either use it or not use it, because if, let's say, all lung cancer patients get a specific drug without checking their biomarkers. So as I said, for some it will help, for some it won't. But then you check the biomarkers and you find that for a certain group within lung cancer patients, they do have this biomarker, so they will get the drug. But it is not less important that the others don't have it and won't take the drug. So, you know, drugs are helpful, but they also have side effects and stuff. So we don't want to give it just to give it and to say we did something. So this is it goes both ways.
So it may be a revolution in medicine. It's good.
Yes.
So
that's true.
Judith, which were like the most important findings since you started working with all this, with the research and
well, the research, the studies are not mine. I'm just, you know, the guy in the middle, the woman in the middle. We are connecting between researchers and the specimen that we are giving them, so they can do a better and find more findings, biological findings. We had, I think, 6 maybe very important studies that were published upon our the usage of samples from MidGam. There are more. We have dozens of researches that are ongoing in industrial and other that are going in academia, and we're also facing a broad study. So there are a lot going on. I think that it is important maybe that I will say regarding our goals. I think I want to emphasize something about it, because I can't say we have an achievement. It's not mine to talk about. But I do want to say that by providing human biosamples, we are an advanced platform for biomedical research. I always say that it says on my forehead, promote research. So we do believe this is part of MidGam's vision, to promote research, to promote collaborations between medical centers, academia, and industry, as I said before. We want to accelerate the scientific discoveries. As I said, it doesn't have to be necessarily genomic. It can be proteomic with proteins, genomic with genes, other molecular scientific discoveries. And I think that by collecting those high-quality biospecimens with high-quality annotated clinical data, this is important to say, we can help promoting the research and develop new drugs, develop new technologies to diagnostic options for personalized medicine, for example. So this is our aim, to support those studies, aim to provide, to improve treatment. This is what we have in our minds.
Excellent. Thank you so much, Judith, for joining us.
Welcome.
It's very
You're most
interesting, and we're looking forward to meeting with you in person. There are many doctors and business people from medical institutions from all over Latin America and from all over the world here in this summit. So hopefully we will have the chance to meet you in person.
Great. Thank you very much.
Bye-bye. Thank you.
Wow, it's amazing. At the end of the day, now listening to data, before the ecosystem, AI, all the possibilities and all the things that people can learn and get from Israel are limitless. If it's either that they want to come to get inspired, that they want to come to do networking, that they want to come to get best practices, that they want to come here to get technologies to bring to their own companies, to resell, to represent, or wherever, the possibilities are endless, for sure. It's amazing. It's something that in which place of the world you have so many startups per cap as you have here in Israel. You have so many different ideas, so many different approaches, so many different technologies, and in every single industry you will see. So at the end of the day, people are asking here, how can I be part? How can I join? What can I do? It's very easy. So far, we have our open programs. Okay, you have many clicks here. If you don't find, just email us, info@innovationexperience.org, or search us in every single network that we are, LinkedIn, Instagram, YouTube, whatever, or write us a mail. And you can either come to our open programs, okay, as we have mainly 3: Shift for young leaders. We have Israel 360 for business leaders, and it's open in terms of different industries and topics. And we have our InnovaMed program, properly focused only in the health ecosystem. Also, there are people that ask for their universities, for their companies, for their executive groups, for their chambers of commerce, and for them we do special tailor-made agendas and delegations for you to come to Israel and join us in your tailor-made experience. For all of you, either in a country where you are, in every place of the world, we want to receive you, we want to host you, we want to open the doors of this amazing country that we are in love with, and we want to share all the knowledge. And if you can come, we will glad to receive you. So shalom to everybody. Thanks God for letting us having this chance. Thanks to my mom that is writing me in the chat all the time, and I have to mention her. And what do you want to share? I'm excited for this.
No, this is really amazing. I'm the content director. I promise you that there are so many companies to show you technologies, and we are waiting for you. So please come, and thank you. We are very happy to see you again.
And
We're waiting for you.
And let me assure you, if you come, sorry, Julie, but
no problem.
You will see us in the bus, you will see us in the activities. We will go with you to the companies, to the startups, to open you the gates, to teach you what to ask, what to learn, where the right technologies are. So just take the leap of faith, come with us. Shalom, everybody. Hope to see you soon. And it was a pleasure hosting you in this amazing event. And also say thank you to all of our partners, our media partners at the institutions that promoted this, because without you, wouldn't be the same. And we're very glad to having hosted you here. Shalom to everybody, and thank you again.
מי אתה ומה אתה אוהב, וכמה מחשבות תגיד על מה אתה חושב, ואיך אתה לא מזמין לחתונה, תגיד היה שם רב או שזה סתם היה שכונה. תנו לי לענות, תנו לי להסביר, איך אני אוהב את הקטסטרופה של העיר. תנו לי ליהנות, תנו לי להזיז, לפתוח את הכל כמו שמפניה בפריז. תנו לי לענות, תנו לי להסביר, איך אני אוהב את הקטסטרופה של העיר. תנו לי ליהנות, תנו לי להזיז, לפתוח את הכל כמו שמפניה בפריז. בא לי בלילות, לרקוד עם כוכבים, לזרוק את הבגדים, לא לחשוב אם מסתכלים, ובא לי בזריחות, לחגוג את החיים, לברוח לפעמים, כי גם ככה פה זה בית משוגעים. מתי אתה החלטת לצאת? תגיד זה לא אתה, זה שהיה אז אם נינא. מתי תביא לנו טלנובלה? וואלה החיים שלך זה סרט באמת. תנו לי לענות, תנו לי להסביר, וואלה יש מצב הייתי אז עם חצי עיר. תנו לי ליהנות, תנו לי להזיז, לפתוח את הכל כמו שמפניה בפריז. בא לי בלילות, לרקוד עם כוכבים, לזרוק את הבגדים, לא לחשוב אם מסתכלים, ובא לי בזריחות, לחגוג את החיים, לברוח לפעמים, כי גם ככה פה זה בית משוגעים. זה בית משוגעים. חזרתי מניו יורק אחרי כמה שנים, מזוודה אחת לדירת 2 חדרים, ביפו על הגג כתבתי לי שירים, לא היה